This is the story of Gladiator, but not the one you think you know. Everyone remembers the arena, the roaring crowd, the moment Maximus removes his helmet. But behind those legendary scenes lies a story that most people have never heard. A story about how a film that almost fell apart during production somehow became one of the greatest historical epics ever made. Because the truth is, many of the things that made Gladiator feel so real were never planned.
Atlas! 3 weeks from now, I will be harvesting my crops. Imagine where you will be, and it will be so. Hold the line. Stay with me. You find yourself alone, riding in green fields with the sun on your face. Do not be troubled, for you are in Elysium, and you're already dead. Brothers, what we do in life echoes in eternity.
Long before audiences heard the roar of the Colosseum, before Maximus ever stepped into the arena, Gladiator began in silence. A cold forest somewhere in northern Europe, mist hanging between the trees, thousands of Roman soldiers waiting for the signal to attack. But what most people don't know is that this forest was very real. Director Ridley Scott filmed the opening battle in a woodland called Bourne Wood, near Farnham in England. And here's the strange part. The section of forest where the battle takes place was already scheduled to be cut down by the Forestry Commission. When Scott discovered this, he made an unusual proposal. Instead of simply clearing the forest, he asked permission to burn it down for the film. The authorities agreed. So the fire you see in the opening battle of Gladiator is not CGI. It is a real forest burn. For 3 weeks in early 1999, the crew turned that woodland into the war-torn frontier of ancient Germania. Thousands of extras marched between the trees. Catapults fired flaming projectiles, and the flames slowly consumed the forest around them. It was the perfect way to begin a story about an empire built on conquest. The Roman army you see marching through the forest may look massive, but in reality, it was much smaller than it appears. Only a few hundred extras were used on set. Many of them were actually members of the British Territorial Army, trained soldiers who knew how to move and fight in formation. Because they already had military discipline, they were able to perform the complex battlefield choreography that Ridley Scott wanted. Catapults actually launched flaming projectiles. Explosions were triggered across the battlefield, and stunt performers wearing heavy armor ran directly through the chaos. Russell Crowe himself performed many of his own stunts during the battle sequences. At one point during filming, his horse reportedly slipped in the mud, nearly throwing him off in the middle of a shot. Moments like that, unpredictable, dangerous, and very real, helped give the battle its raw intensity. Looking back today, it's hard to imagine that the film could have turned out differently. But during production, nobody knew if Gladiator would succeed. The script was unfinished, the technology was experimental, and the production was constantly adapting to unexpected challenges. Yet that opening scene, the burning forest, the marching legions, the thunder of battle, immediately pulls the audience into the story. It feels real, and that realism was not an accident. It came from real fire, real mud, real soldiers, and a director willing to turn chaos into cinema. And just like that, the forest falls silent. The fires slowly die between the trees. The smoke drifts across the battlefield, and the Roman army stands victorious. For the soldiers, it is simply another battle at the edge of the empire. But for Maximus, it is the last moment of peace before everything in his life begins to fall apart. Because soon, the loyal general will become a slave. The hero of Rome will become a gladiator. And the man who once commanded armies will be forced to fight for his life in the arena. Yet it all begins here, in a frozen forest, with fire in the trees, and the quiet calm of a man who has no idea that history is about to change his fate forever. And that is the brilliance of Gladiator, a film that didn't just show us ancient Rome, but made us feel like we were standing inside it. Thank you so much for watching this story behind the opening of Gladiator. If you enjoyed discovering these hidden facts and behind-the-scenes secrets, make sure to support the channel. Subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, and join us for more stories about legendary movies, actors, and the incredible moments behind the camera. And who knows, maybe in the next video, we'll step back into the arena once again. Until then, thank you for watching, and hopefully, I'll see you in the next video.